they don't tell you the bad stuff. They try and make it all nice and pretty and, oh, Indigenous people, they were here when Christopher Columbus was here. They don't tell you all the bad stuff.
Something that really hit me today was a person's not afraid to kidnap an Indigenous woman because what if they never get caught?
What are we here for? So let everybody know what are we here for today.
Murdered and missing Indigenous women!
Inchas Gwalgwalalush, Shamash Squachita, Talon Pascal, Litwat Wulkan, Statni Mochkan, Uchumilkan. So I just basically said that my name is Sharp Eyes, my English name is Talon Pascal, and that I'm part of the Litwat Nation.
I'm Amber, I'm 16 years old. I go to Housedown Secondary, and I am in Aboriginal leadership.
The purpose of the 24-hour drama is really to just spread awareness about some problems that Indigenous people face in our society today and how we can change that.
The Aboriginal leadership teams are basically kind of divided into two. So there's the Statlium Nation and the Skohomish Nation. And this year the Skohomish Nation housed the 24-hour drum. And we acknowledge that. We are on the Skohomish unceded territory.
Squal, Scout Ceylani Queen Sna. Welcome everybody. We have some dignitaries among us today. But you might say, well, what does this have to do with me? And I'm going to task you with this. Guess what? It's about all of us. In this time of reconciliation, it's about learning about our country, our history. It's about learning who we are, where we're from. And now that we're here together, and Indigenous people survived all of the policies and structures that were meant to eradicate culture and language. And so now from here, we walk together in reconciliation. And the team of students from across the corridor have worked really hard to raise awareness about issues that are important to them and that we all can learn from.
We decided to make videos this year to, tell everyone what we're doing and what we're raising awareness of. So ours was drugs and alcohol.
No.
Why not?
Because I don't want my family to be worried about my poor decisions.
No, why?
Because that's not who I am. It's not everything.
Stop, because my ancestors before me all lived without drugs and alcohol, and they were totally fine, and nowadays drugs and alcohol are ruining our people's lives, so I'm just gonna stop.
Roberta, 19 years old, auntie, last seen at a campground near Chilliwack.
Mary, 30 years old, remains found on Mount Seymour, possible victim of a serial killer targeting women in Vancouver's downtown east side.
Stories like these are far too common. The level of violence experienced by Indigenous women and girls in Canada is a national tragedy. Please watch this video that explains what we have learned this year.
Our women and girls are sacred. That is the title of the initial inquiry report.
Canada and Canadians need to be aware of this national tragedy. It cannot continue to happen.
We matter.
Today we had a peace march to let everybody know that we cared about the missing and murdered Indigenous girls, ladies, women. We just wanted to spread the word about it because not a lot of people know about it.
And so when we're walking, we also sing the Women's Warrior song, to, show respect and everything. A lot of people did their speeches too, to express what they're feeling and telling you what's going on and everything.
All of us have been affected. I've known many murdered missing Indigenous women, including my grandmother was murdered, and the case has never been closed, as well as my first cousin. And I know people up and down the coast of British Columbia that is affected by this.
And then she disappeared. And then there were all the excuses. Oh, she would just wanted to get away from her responsibilities. Oh, she's probably went off drinking with somebody. Yeah. And it was months before they even started to look for her. And then finally they found her. They found her on the side of the highway, gone. Canada is not doing enough. They're not doing enough to protect our women and children. And when I look at my beautiful daughter here and my beautiful niece, it breaks my heart. I want their future to be better. I want the statistics to show that they have a better chance of going to university than being murdered or going missing. And I want to thank you all for being here to bring awareness to this important issue and to honor all of those women who've been forgotten.
It really touched my heart to just hear some of those personal stories and realize like this is a real issue and it needs to be changed today.
There's a lot of people on the highway honking at us and cheering for us, and no one was getting really mad or anything. The RCMP actually liked it too.
The police actually helped us along the way to keep us safe, and then they blocked the intersection so we could cross.
The reactions from people were all very positive, and everybody was honking their horns at us, giving us a thumbs up. And I think it's just spreading awareness. I think they're just opening up their eyes a lot more. And I was actually really surprised about how happy they all were to see us doing that.
Everybody kind of had their own ideas for the videos. Ours specifically was about why we're in Aboriginal leadership, because our group is a little bit different to the other groups as we are all international. We all come from really different backgrounds, and a lot of people are like, why are you here? Why do you think this is your fight to fight? You know, we all have our reasons for being here, and they're all great reasons.
And I felt like it was because people didn't really understand me or my culture, so I wanted to join this group so I could understand more about other people's culture.
In trash, I call it Nash Datlam can Liwa can my English name is Nadalyn, and I joined this group because my family grew up in residential school and I didn't really get to learn much about my culture. Shwakau.
When I was in elementary school, we talked about it, but we didn't actually talk about it. And I didn't know about residential schools probably not until grade 6. And that makes me so sad because it's part of our history and we deserve to know that.
U.S. Canadian
Canadian people, you have this amazing opportunity. You have this First Nations who come from the land, who live with the land, who have this deep connection. It's like a huge part of Canadian culture, and I was so honored and grateful to be part of that.
I think it's really important to be a part of this group because you just get to learn all about our past and all about how you can make a change today and how you can help bring back the culture.
And we need to respect the people who lived here before us. The reconciliation of Aboriginal people needs to be a bigger fight, and I think it needs to be a fight fought by everybody because Canada is a mosaic of people of all different cultures.
We're setting a path for the younger generation to step forth into this. And I really hope our day, our 24-hour drum, has put a spark into the youth of tomorrow.
You know, like, I wanted to keep our culture alive. That's one of my goals. So I've always sought out, knowledge from the elders so they can, teach me the language. And one day I want to become fluent in our language, Uxwemilk.